All right, we're live. Yay! Happy Tuesday, everyone, with the divorce ladies of... Today, we're talking about a different way to divorce. Cherese, introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are, why you do this, and how they can find you.
Sorry about that. My name is Cherese with Savvy, Healthy, and Empowered. And you can reach us on all the social media platforms with She Wealth on Facebook, Savvy, Healthy, and Empowered, She Wealth on Instagram, on our website, www.shewealth.net, and Instagram, She Wealth.
Yeah. And we have our banner down at the bottom.
Yes.
Where they can reach you or me. Awesome. And why do you do this?
I do this because I realized there was a black hole when it came to women, their finances, and when they are going through divorce. Mm-hmm. No one at the time that I was going through my divorce was able to help me navigate properly. And I saw that void and I said, you know what? I need to be able to fill it, and my experience lends to the knowledge and expertise that I have. So here we are.
Yeah, that's so important. I know that it's the experience. Hey, Connie. Connie said hi. It's the experience that, for me, makes a difference when hiring somebody, not just learning the theory. And because you've walked through that. So... All right. Well, my name is Denise Cherese, and I am a narcissistic abuse recovery coach, helping you in high conflict divorces. Those are my favorites, to show you a different way of divorcing, or child custody cases, or anything with the court winning at divorcing a narcissist is my forte. I love doing it because all of my clients win at divorcing a narcissist. And you can reach me at trueloveaftertoxiclove.com. Also on all of the social media platforms. Right now, we're airing on my personal Facebook page and my business Facebook page, and also my YouTube channel, and or Denise at trueloveaftertoxiclove.com. All right. Well, today's topic is a different way to divorce with Cherese and Denise. Our names rhyme.
I like that.
Cherese and Denise.
Yes.
So, yeah. I actually was making a list because it was for something else completely before we hit the Let's Go Live button. And it was, your divorce doesn't have to be, and I just started naming all the things that your divorce doesn't have to be, right? And same thing for you with the finances. My expertise is the emotional part, because there is two sides to a divorce. There's the emotional part and there's the business part. And so first, divorce is such a, well, it doesn't have to be, but it seems to be, and this is why your clients come to you and my clients come to me. It's such a money pit.
Right.
Because you have to have this and you have to have that. And most people just go out and they just think let me go get the best divorce attorney and I'm good. Mm-hmm. And then they start to find out during the process of oh crap, I keep getting triggered. Oh crap, there's actually something really called legal abuse. Oh crap, what about the finances? Especially your clients who haven't really dealt with it in the relationship. Now, how do they deal with it coming out of the relationship? Outside. Yeah.
I was reading a few days ago that they were saying that the court systems, and we talked about this a little bit last week, are not really set up for that non-breadwinning spouse, right? And if people, so April is Financial Literacy Month. So if people don't know the rules of the money game, like you said, while married or single, now that they're getting divorced, how do they know that those rules are the right standards, because automatically they just say 50-50 split. That's it, and he or she doesn't want me to keep the house or whatever. And that might not be the case. The numbers have to be done. The calculations have to be done to see what would be in each other's best interests moving forward so that you can divorce successfully.
Yes.
Not stressfully.
Ooh, I love that.
Stressfully, not stressfully. I gotta write that down so I don't forget.
I know, write that down. That's good. That is so good. That is good. Yeah. Oh, okay. So real quick, Connie, I think it was Connie who said about my book. And I replied, but it showed up on YouTube, I think. But anyway, for the person, I don't know if it's you, Connie, who asked about the book, the launch has been postponed to April 9th. So the link will be up on April 9th. Yeah. Say that again. What did you say? Divorce successfully, not stressfully?
Successfully, not stressfully. Yes.
That's sexy, Cherese.
Sexy. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. It's got so much juice to it. Yeah, because we're laughing and we're making light of this because we know there's another way. And it's heartbreaking to get messages or like my client that I was talking about, my male client that I was talking about last week, who 10 freaking years, he had already divorced his ex-wife. He was already in a relationship with his new wife. And she kept dragging him back to court, and so much money had been wasted, so much time had been wasted, so much. And so we literally, him and I literally had 4 or 5 calls together. And the whole process of the trial, she had him on trial for whatever, I don't know, was completely different. And this is what I had posted about, and my client's ex showed up to court unorganized and frazzled. Because so we had our first call from the trial yesterday. And so I asked him, like, what happened? Tell me the details and everything. And he said she was unorganized. And I said, has she ever done that before? 10 years, you guys, 10 years of this woman taking this man to court for ridiculous whatever. I said, did she ever do this before? Has she ever done this before? He said, oh, no, you say a date, she will put her finger on it. She will let you know what happened on what date. And I said, interesting.
What changed, right?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? And my beautiful friend, Mia, she's like, you happened. I'm like, well, I'm a part of it, but I didn't do it. Right. It was him. I showed him what to do. I showed him how to shift his energy. And for me and my clients, that's really all it comes down to, is I show them how to shift their energy, look at their situation from a different perspective, start to implement these certain energies in you so that you show up differently. And every single time the narcissist shows up and is like, because the energy is different.
It shifts.
Yeah. They're no longer a match in the victim and the abuser consciousness. They're no longer matching. And same for your clients. You help them in the financial aspect, shift their perspective into a higher level.
Right.
So now they're no longer matching with the broke and the scarcity and the what's going to happen energy of where they were before.
There was one lady, they were arguing like over a few $1,000s, and he had taken the money out of the account or something like that. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but I just remember my comment to her was, whatever it is, negotiate that dollar amount back into your settlement. Mm-hmm. Don't argue.
Right.
Like like the book, don't sweat the small stuff, because it's not worth your sanity. And I know, like, you have this rage and stuff like that, but when it comes to the money, it's cut and dry. And if he did something that he wasn't supposed to do after the fact of, you guys are separated and that sort of thing, negotiate it back in later on. Like, it just doesn't. And she's like, thank you so much for that, because
Yeah, it's small things that we
Yeah.
teach our clients that make the biggest difference for them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because once again, our clients are all tied up in the emotion of it and the scarcity of it. And listen, that's what divorce is set up to be. Like we
Yeah.
were talking about last week, how even I was sharing about when I was a character witness in the court, the whole setup is super intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You hire this a divorce attorney and you got to pay all these thousands of dollars. That's intimidating. Going to their office and court and there's a judge and there's it's all set up that way to keep you in the 3D lower levels of consciousness. Fear being the biggest one.
And I also read this week that the divorce lawyers should have to go through a psychological type class or psychology class on the way it works, because they're like, well, the legal part of it is not really emotional, but you have a completely family law is all emotions, right?
Absolutely.
And you can't just dismiss that the emotional part of it, the emotional component exists.
Yep.
That's why we exist. But,
Right.
It would help if they were a little bit more sensitive to understand, even with the knowledge and expertise that we're given to
Right.
the clients that sign on with us, they can understand where the client is coming from then.
And see what's really going on.
Right.
Come on. I have no freaking degree in diddly squat. None.
Nice.
And I can see it. So
Yeah.
if little old Denise Clark from Hollywood, Florida can figure it out, come on. To me, it's like, because to me and what I see, it's a perpetuating cycle by proxy. It's supposed to be that way. It's set up that way to create this business and this cycling of money to come through the system, and everybody who's involved in the system, money.
Yep.
Money.
They were saying, even with this real estate thing that's going on, they're fighting realtors, right, about their 6%.
Mm-hmm.
But then someone was saying, I'm not negating the expertise and the time and the knowledge of an attorney, but how do you justify they get 33 and a third percent and a realtor makes 6% and you don't even want them to make that? For standard cases. And it makes sense if you really think about it. And how often are they doing this on a weekly basis, So it's kind of like we are working to change the narrative of how people think about this process, because it's so important. It's just really, really important.
So much wasted, so much brokenness of families, so much wasted money, wasted time that you can't get back.
Right.
For nothing. Mm-hmm. For nothing. So using my client as an example, 10 years of courts and this, and from what I hear, he lost, him and his current wife lost their retirement plus about $1 million in cash. And then 10 years of time, right? Having this other person in their relationship who's constantly putting, injecting this negative energy for what? For what?
Yeah.
I mean, I had 4 calls and it's wrapped up.
Right? It's like,
come on. Again, I'm not a brain surgeon here. Like, I'm not.
You go, girl. You go, girl. You go.
But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm simply saying, like, it's a perspective. It's a shift. It's a shift in consciousness. It's a shift in the energy. That's all it is. And end the bullshit.
Yeah.
children are seeing like all of this, you know, for your clients who are stressing over money. What is one of the biggest things in life? Money. Finances. Yeah. And so your clients who are who have children and years of this mom stressed, whether she's staying home mom or stressed out and just like not being the best mom that she can be to her children because she's got this heavy weight of energy in her mind that she can't get rid of because we live where we need money.
Right.
I mean, that's just the truth. We have to have money. It pays the mortgage, it pays for food, blah, 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 blah. So now she's not the mom that she could have been if this had ended. Now she's distracted, emotionally disconnected, not physically there, not emotionally there. All the things that get wrapped up into that for her children when she could have been. And then her kids could have been raised in, even if it was a split parent home, raised with a healthy, emotionally and mental mom.
Right.
Or dad or whoever. But again, when you follow the money trail, that's why. And toxic relationships keep this cycle going.
Perpetually.
Yeah.
I just saw a post yesterday. A mediation is about to start, and I'm looking for a job. Mediation is about to start, and he won't let me keep the house.
He won't let me.
Yeah. And I'm like, we need to talk. And then she says, is it about a job?
That's the mindset.
And I'm going to say yes and no. Because if technically, if they're set up properly, right, when the exit strategy, if it's set up properly, then you don't have to stress so much. Worried about an apartment, worried about a job. You already have a place to live. Where are you going? Like, what are you doing? You got little kids. If you were single, it would be a different story, but you have small children. And that has to be taken into consideration, you know, and especially the way the expenses and everything are these days for rent. Oh my gosh. You know, so but the mindset is I need a job, I need this, I need that. Like, okay, I need you to think about if you're not able to show up to that job, what's going to happen? Will you be able to keep your job? If the kids get sick and if you have sole custody of them and there's different things that happen. And then if you're renting, you're going to be stressed about your rent. So it's like a cyclic effect that creates this trauma, right? And then you're carrying it on from year to year and situation to situation, and you never get out of it because it's like a hamster wheel. So you have us to help you navigate your thought process, navigate your relationship with money and the assets that you have, and think strategically so that you're able to move forward in a positive manner.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've all been ingrained and trained to think that money only comes from with an exchange of my time.
Right.
My time equals money. There's which that's one way. And I was in that mindset too. So this is not to shame or blame anybody. This is just to really show you like there's so many ways that money can come into your world without, because like I had my client, she was freaking out the other day about finances, right? And I sent all my clients to you, by the way. And she was like, because she's a stay-at-home mom. And so her soon-to-be ex is the funnel that money comes to her. And I said, wait a minute, just hold on a second. And I walked her through a process to look at the energy and to feel into the energy of money coming from other sources, other ways. But as long as you're like, so like got these blinders on, like money only comes from my ex, that's the only way that money comes to me, then you're blocking out all the other ways that money can come to you.
Right.
Because you're so focused that if he doesn't give me money, I'm screwed.
when you have everything that you need right in the palm of your hand already, and you don't have to really depend on what he's saying he's going to give or what the standard is,
Right.
you have the and demand what you should have.
Yeah. And think outside the box.
Yeah.
Money can come from, I don't know. I just know that when I started, like when I left my ex and I came here to North Carolina and I was living on my own, which that's one of the things I was petrified to do, is be financially on my own, because I was so codependent on him financially. He was the breadwinner. And so when I moved here, came here to North Carolina, had my own apartment for the first time in like over 20 years. And I was financially on my own. And I was like, ah. But then once I manifested the $10,000 to leave. And then once I was here, money started to come, like checks in the mail for this and that. And I was like, whoa, I was from a past trauma, would let the mail pile up, even when I left.
Oh, yeah. Scared to go to the mailbox.
Scared to go to the mailbox, right? Because it's bills, right? And I remember one time I was like, okay, that pile is getting really, really big. I was about to go to Colorado on a trip for the third or fourth time. I don't remember. I was single, living in the apartment. And I go through the mail and there's a freaking $900 check in there for me that I hadn't seen. And it was like, I don't remember. It was like the day before I was going to Colorado or whatever. And I was like, hot diggity damn, because I had a budget to spend in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
You know, whatever that budget was. And then, you know, because I had to have my savings account and all the things, right? So I was like, $900. Woo! That budget just went up.
Like, woo-hoo!
Yeah. So money can come from any source.
Yes, absolutely.
Anywhere. And it's beneficial to start, for people to start thinking like that, because we've been so ingrained. It's like, even for some people to hear us say this, Cherese, they're going to be like, what are you talking about? Money comes from anywhere. What do you think? Money grows on trees? That's a big one, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. That's what we were raised with. That's what our parents always said. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, it does.
I was going to say, actually it does.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. All right. We're coming up into our 30 minutes. I hope this was helpful for everybody, for you to see that you absolutely 100% can divorce. There's a different way for you to divorce, with the finances, with the energy, with the, you know, even the attorneys. We're not attorneys. We don't talk about legal stuff, but you don't have to go through 2, 3, whatever attorneys to get through the divorce. You don't have to waste a ton of money on retainer fees and they're not working for you, not showing up, whatever. Cause I'm sure you've heard stories too. Yep. Crazy divorce attorney stories. You can divorce differently. You can have a different way of divorcing where it's none of that. So where can they find you, Cherese?
So they can find me, the Financial Lifestyle Concierge.
You so fancy.
Right here, www.shewealth.net. Telephone number, I still take calls and text messages, 484-222-3050. And if you hashtag SheWealth on any social media, I will pop up. But now there's other people from other countries that are into the name. There's nothing I can do about that, though.
You're original, honey.
Exactly.
You need to put OG SheWealth.
Right? SheWealth OG. I love it.
You can copy, but you can't be.
That's right. It's in the South. In the South.
Yeah. And you can find me here on social media as well, or trueloveaftertoxiclove.com. That's my website. On my website, you'll see the social media links and the email, and I have free resources there and how you can work with me. It's all there at trueloveaftertoxiclove.com. And we'll see you next week. We will be here every Tuesday at 12 p.m., 12 to 12:30, helping you divorce differently. Overall, this is what our goal is for you, is to divorce differently, to divorce without XYZ, right? Without the extra money, without the 2, 3, 4 attorneys, without wasting ton of time without all that anxiety and fear and all that stuff. So we'll be here next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Bye. End stream.